this one, the new one I just made, I don't know if I would show this to a 9-year-old.
Come to me. Come to me. Hear my call. Come to me.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I want to start by asking, I believe that your characters in their bare core, they're all about taking care of their family and taking care of the people they love. So my first question is, without getting too personal, is there actually something that you're really proud of being able to do for your family and the people you love?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got teenage girls and at home, and I think, yeah, you'll do anything to protect your little ones. And that was one of the reasons why I was also excited to play this role, and Robert kind of brought me in because I felt like I could relate very heavily to that sort of situation, especially because, this plague that comes through the city of Visberg and, hunkering down whilst the fear of something rampant is coming through the village. And so having all gone through the pandemic together, we all can relate very heavily to what that felt like. But I also just was drawn to the story of Lily and Nick's story, which is just a beautiful love story in the midst of this gothic sort of setting. And I think it felt like a metaphor for marriage and relationship and how to sort of, and the strength of that. So I thought that was kind of cool. I didn't really expect that, but it's very strong and a strong theme in this movie.
He is coming.
He is coming.
He is coming to us.
Did you guys learn something from each other back in 2019 in The Lighthouse that you got to expand a little bit more perhaps in The Northman and then now in NOSFERTU?
That's an interesting way of asking it, like, what do we learn from each other? Because I think partially we have sort of a similar approach, at the core. But I certainly, I'm always learning things from Willem. I'm always learning things with the actors that I'm working with. And so when you have a relationship that works and there's already the trust there, then you can expand upon it and get even more efficiently, further creatively.
He does an incredible amount of research, and it puts you in a place to get you ready. But then once we get there, he's totally pragmatic about how to achieve those shots, and he prepares those shots. He did in The Lighthouse, he did in Northman, he did in this, but there's more and more refinement. Also, his work with Jaron, his DOP, it's incredible because these are very complicated shots, and they take a certain kind of athleticism, a certain kind of when there's many people in the shot, it's very difficult. It really takes cooperation between all the actors, and that is very special because you get a sense of time and presence that you don't always get when you shoot conventionally and you think things are going to be cut up, because everything's for keeps and everything has its value and everything finds its own rhythm in these long takes. So I learned the value of that. I learned his commitment. I learned his sense of play. I learned many things.
He's coming.
Who is coming to you, my child?
We've seen you grow as human beings, and we've seen you grow professionally. So I was wondering, have you guys learned something from the first set you went to? Applied that thing you learned to every single set you went to from that moment on?
Actually, we've been talking a lot to do with this film about how Rob is a real believer in less is more in performances. He's really specific in performance with sort of limiting expression and really focusing on dialogue and being present and really intentional in moments. And I remember when I was shooting an episode of The Crown with Jess Hobbs. It was one of the later episodes, and there's a scene when Diana has to look out a window at Charles leaving the house, and it's just a look. And we did a few takes, and she came over and she was like, try just doing nothing. Just don't move your face.
Just
I was
stop.
there like,
Just stop.
she was like, just stop, basically. And I did. And then she said, do you want to see the difference, sort of thing? And she sort of talked me through it. And yeah, it was really interesting. I think there are obviously always cases for like expression and using that, and that's such a powerful tool, but also I think the opposite can also be powerful. So
You're
that's
so
something
brilliantly sort of stoic in the ground and like fragile inside, but holding it together. So it's kind of like, interestingly, by doing
less, you sort of feel it
there's
more.
more pain you're
Yeah.
concealing. It's interesting. It's that fine balance when you're trying to imitate reality or an authenticity, but it's also a style choice for sure.
Yeah, I think it was interesting encountering it very specifically in a more exaggerated fashion, maybe in this film.
Mine was when I was 12. I worked with Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson, and Jackie.
When you were 12?
When I was 12, and Jackie was like this amazing, you know, walk onto a set and then go, right, okay, so I'm gonna like swing from here. I'm gonna jump over there. I'm gonna hang off the chandelier, and then we're gonna run, you know. And I remember just kind of going, well, has he had months to like rehearse this? And like, no, he just stepped on this morning. He's just been playing. And I was like, what the hell? And it was a big lesson for me at 12 to know that, you know, someone who was like a kid, like learning my lines in the hotel room the night before, like this is the way I'm going to say it, is actually like, you can't prepare yourself for the environment. Once you're in your character and you drop yourself in that environment, it very much becomes a part of the story. And so you've got to settle into that place. And watching Jackie embrace the environment around him is like, why am I supposed to rehearse this in a warehouse 2 months before? I can just use the stuff around me. And I remember just like the guy had such brilliant spatial awareness and used the environment around him. And I was like, that's really, really amazing.
We are here encountering the vampire. Nosferatu.
In the Q&A with Guillermo del Toro, you said that you saw Nosferatu for the first time when you were 9. Yeah. So I was wondering, if you could grab this film and show it to yourself at 9, what would you think it would be the coolest thing or the most excited thing he will be excited about?
This one, the new one I just made, I don't know if I would show this to a 9-year-old. And obviously, you know, I'm always trying to make the movie that I want to see, you know. So, but my son was 5 when I was in post production, and he had to come to like the mix, and I would say put headphones on him and have him turn around and look at the wall, and you know, plays on his iPad because it's too much for a young child.
This movie is about not only recognizing evil from outside, but recognizing evil within. So I was wondering, have you ever played a character, and in your case, written a character that made you find out something about yourself?
Well, I mean, I think I make all of these dark movies so that I can, you know, take out the trash and go, you know, take my kid to school and be a happy, normal, chilled person. So I'm always exploring the darkness in this stuff.
Of course, that's the pleasure of my profession, you know. All these things work on you. There are opportunities to rattle your own cage, you know, to reconsider things, to think in a different way.